Douglas. Tell us a bit about yourself.
My name's Nathan, but probably more well known for being Background Bob's dad. Background Bob being my an alter ego name for my son Noah, and we are better known, I guess, for an art project that we did back in lockdown, which has continued since then.
So Nathan, what inspired you and Noah to start Background Bob art project during lockdown?
It started mainly through necessity, because obviously all the kids were off school and we were stuck at home and everyone was quite stressful, and actually my wife was still trying to work from home, so it was actually like a little mini argument that started off. My wife, shouted at me to go and do something with Noah, so we decided just to go and get some paint and some cardboard and have a bit of fun with it. And at the time we were quite heavily using social media to connect with people, so for a laugh I posted his brightly coloured backgrounds, all 8 of them, and asked if people would come and collaborate with him, and it just grew and grew and grew from there.
And how did Noah's personality and creativity shape the way that the project grew?
So from the beginning it was never our aim to thrust our son into the limelight on social media. Social media can be a strange, cruel world, and with him having the disabilities he had, I had apprehensions of it, but also I was very happy to share him because he was such a smiley, happy kid. I think the reason the project grew so much and people got behind it so much was because of him, his smiley nature, his zest for life and the way that he was enjoying himself, but also the fact that we were sharing everyday family life, with the struggles and the beautiful moments of having a child with special needs.
How did the art community respond when Background Bob's work first started gaining attention?
So this is like one of the real special moments of Background Bob. Obviously I said earlier that we painted 8 backgrounds, and we knew we had 8 friends who would come and take part. What we hadn't factored in that the first project over 250 people came forward, so we had a little rule in our head that if you sent your address, we'd send you a background, which just went crazy. So every night I was painting backgrounds with him and then posting them and sending them out every morning, and the more people got involved, the more people wanted to get involved. So it was a perfect use of social media at the time. I follow lots of artists and so do lots of other people, so when they saw certain artists who got involved, other people then reached out and said, I saw you're doing this project on so-and-so's social media page, can I get involved? So it grew really lovely and organically, and spread in such a beautiful way.
Now, how did you manage to connect to so many renowned artists and celebrities like Grayson Perry and Ed Sheeran?
So again, one of the lovely things about the project was the community that we built. So we had a lot of people helping, lots of people were able to reach out, lots of people had connections that we didn't have. So the Ed Sheeran piece came about through now a good friend, a guy called Mike, who used to run a tattoo shop, who just happened to be Ed Sheeran's tattooist. And initially I asked if we could just send Ed Sheeran some copies of our books, just as a gift. He'd not long just had children, and he's a local guy, local celebrity to us. And I thought it would be nice if he knew who we were. But I cheekily chucked in a background as well on the off chance that he might do one, because why not? And then weeks went by, didn't hear a thing, and I just, swept it under the carpet and thought that nothing was going to happen. And then one day, randomly, I got a WhatsApp message from Ed Sheeran himself with a little message saying that, thank you for the books, and I'm definitely going to take part, and I'll get back to you soon, which was incredible. Having guys like those involved in something bring, high profile that you need to get it out there to more people, to obviously to help raise more money. People like Grayson Perry, they're a bit more difficult because he's not very prolific on social media, and really it's the only way of contacting people. That's how we contacted most of our artists, was via social media and email. Emails were going nowhere with Grayson Perry, but a friend of mine does security at a venue down in Bristol, and he said that Grayson Perry was doing a talk down there to a load of fans about an exhibition or a book or something he had out. And if I sent him a background, he would be able to get it to him. He will just pass it on to him. So, and he said, he can't guarantee it, but obviously I will see him. So, and again, I didn't hear anything from him for ages and ages. Grayson didn't contact us in any way or anything like that. But this random background turned up one day where he'd collaborated with Noah and signed the back, Grayson Perry. So, quite a special moment.
So has there been any collaborations that have stood out to you the most, and why?
Yeah, there's obvious collaborations, having the big guns involved like Shepard Fairey, people like Mr. Doodle and Ed Sheeran and all of those, they obviously stand out because they bring some kudos to the project, and they also bring press and stuff like this. But what I liked about it the most was the lesser known artists coming up with incredible pieces of artwork. There's a lady called Zeren Drury who was very shy at coming forward, but I liked her artwork and kept on harassing her to get involved. She did get involved and produced one of our top selling pieces. It was a really, really lovely piece, which actually we did try and win, but it eventually got out of our price range, and what ended up happening was somebody else bought it, but then through social media that person then found out that we really liked it, and like 3 or 4 months later on down the line it was sent in the post to us as a gift. And so things like that really stand out. The amount of work some people put into it was incredible as well. And also just because we supplied you with a A4 piece of cardboard, art for us has always had no rules, so you could do what you wanted to. So some people made puppets out of them and robots, and people made 3D pieces, people used resin. So the ingenuity of how people perceived a simple, very small piece of cardboard and then turned it into a beautiful piece of art was mind-blowing at times.
Right, so talk about you as a collector. Have you got any pieces that sit pride of possession at home?
Well, we've obviously got quite a few background bobs in our house that we've bought over the years, so they hold quite a high place, a captured moment in time between our project and our son and various artists that we fell in love with. The project also opened up the art world to us, which allowed us to discover lots of new artists. There was one artist, a guy called Daniel Wilson, who is a British artist but now lives in Chicago, who I've been a fan of for years and years and years, and wanted to buy a piece, and they were a little bit out of my price range, but I wanted to invest in a piece, and just the right piece just didn't come about all the time. It was something about it, the size, the imagery, and then one night I saw the perfect piece. I just instantly bought it, and without reading any of the dimensions on it. And when it turned up, I was thinking it was like an A4 piece, and when this thing turned up, it was 1.6 meters by 1.2 meters, and now so it takes up a huge pride of place in my front room because I've had to move all the furniture away from the walls. But there's lots of, we've got lots of lovely artwork in our house. I think at the last count we've got 190 pieces of artwork on display. So, and a lot of it was gifted to us through the Background Bob project, so it makes it quite special. Some was bought, some was discovered through the project. So, yeah, I mean, we have a lovely collection of artwork, and it's very bright and colourful. I'd still like to add a piece by an artist called Tim Fowler. I just love the freedom of his work and the colour palette that he uses. And I recently went to London and saw the Jenny Savile exhibition, which is an artist I was very unaware of. And you know, I'm guessing her pieces are massively at my price range, but I'd love to own one of those.
How do you hope Noah's legacy will continue to inspire charitable projects in the future?
I think the Background Bob project gave a lot of artists the courage to come forward. I think they enjoyed getting involved with it so much that I think it then made others get involved. And from what I've seen, those shy artists who didn't come forward but then did for our project are now getting involved in other projects. Their confidence has grown, so I think that's kind of helped that happen. Also, the community that we built through Background Bob have allowed us to go forward. I mean, we recently did a little project to help a local charity to us, and it was a big success. But every time we do a project, there's always more people wanting to get involved than actually we can let get involved. These things have to be a manageable thing. I mean, to give it some context, over the 3 years Background Bob was going, he collaborated with 780 odd artists, but I think there was at least another 1,000 artists who came forward to get involved, but we had to limit the numbers. So I think there's more scope to kind of move forward with this project. I think there's so many lovely people out there who are willing to give up their skill and their time to help others, which is lovely.
So what's next?
Well, a break, I think. The project has been running on for the last 5 years, and although it's been massively beautiful, sadly our son isn't here anymore now, and so I think I kind of need to take just some time away from it, recoup, maybe grieve a little bit. Part of the grieving process has been the project. I think maybe I need to step back a little bit from it, just to see, and then maybe come back stronger. I think it's a shame not to use the community that we've built to continue to do good. They're constantly harassing me to do so, you included. So, it's a shame not to do it. It's such a beautiful thing to do. I love being surrounded, by artists and working with artists, although they're all an absolute nightmare kind of to get anybody to do anything on time. But, that's part of the fun too. So, we'll be back, but at some point, I don't know. Well, you took all the back off? Oh. You made me look really bald. I'll be stalling.
Nice one.
Thank you. Oh, is that it? Oh.
There's quite a bit.
That's probably come off my bloody eyebrows.